My name's Sergeant Will Craig, I'm age 32 and I'm an army photographer. Each person has a story. To take a picture of somebody doing whatever they're doing, it's telling their story within a picture. When I was about 15, we had a photographic lesson when I was at school. On that day, I really got hooked on to the whole limelight of photography, seeing the images come alive in the darkroom. I just thought, oh, that was fantastic. I was asked to cover a concert. It was a Prodigy concert. I actually shot this on wet film, so it wasn't at the age of digital era. I had to know exactly what the whole camera, the whole makeup of it, to get this kind of original shot. It's not the sort of kind of shot you can stage. I had a photograph at this opening of this gay bar. Sarah at Lancashire was opening the actual pub itself. I thought to myself, well, I'll get her pulling a pint, and get the old handbag over the head. Just something a little bit different, because it was a difficult job at the best of times. I wasn't really abandoning photography, in a sense. I think it was just kind of putting it on hold. I always had a passion to do something different. I've always strived to do my best. I just give 100%. The great thing about Cyprus, it always keeps you on your toes. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's always different varied jobs. You're never stuck at your desk. You're always out covering something. You've got to remember is that I've just come across from the Parachute Regiment, now being in the Royal Logistics Corps. It's a different cap badge, it's a different berry. People kind of look at you in a different way. But I didn't let that faze me at all. I decided, right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to just do this right. When you deploy, you're carrying about 80 to 90 pounds worth of kit. And that's before you even get your cameras on. You have to be physically fit. You have to be photographically switched on, and you've got to be aware of your surroundings. To me, you have to be kind of twice as fit, to be honest, because you have to be fit enough to keep up with the blokes. You've also then got to crack on again and then do your job. Once you've got those bank of images, you could be a couple of days in the field, you could be a week in the field. You come back to a safe area, you get your laptop out, you start working your images, and then you transmit them from the field. It's not a simple, nice, clean air conditioned environment. Definitely far from that. You're talking 40 or 50 degrees out there, and you're in there with the rest of them. And you've got to get those images out, because you're there to tell the story, not just for you, but for that soldier. And occasionally we had VIPs that came over, and for this incident we had Tony Blair come over, the Prime Minister at the time. We always say to the people, like, we photographed such and such and such and such. A lot of people kind of don't believe it. They kind of think it's, but we decided this time what we should do is basically ask him, would he mind if we got a quick group picture of him, and that's exactly what we did. If you don't ask, you don't get. The last time I heard fixed bayonets, was when I was in Power Reds, when the guys talked to me about the Falklands campaign. So when I heard that word of command, fixed bayonets, kind of a shiver came down the back of my neck and downwards. The idea of me being a photographer, it's not just to photograph the operation side of it. I want to photograph how the guys are living each day, every day. But I wanted to record that because not many people see their living conditions. These guys here are prepping for battle, believe it or not, but they've got a bit of downtime. So this guy here he's shaving his head. I mean, there's no hairdressers nearby, so they just got to do what they can do just to keep themselves, the hair trimmed and all that sort. I can walk into a private soldier's life, get them to do the things that I want them to do in the photographic terminologies out in the field and all the rest of it, and then move into, as we're looking now at the brigadier giving his set of orders, I should be able to go in there and take pictures and be accepted in there, because I am a soldier myself. As long as I'm not getting in the way, I see no reason why I can't go in and out of people's lives. Seeing the last patrol at Besbrook Mill. Besbrook Mill is quite a significant area where it used to be the most busiest heliport in Europe. I also had the opportunity to photograph the Home Service disbandment. A lot of history there. I had the pleasure of going down there photographing the Queen and the whole parade. And also on the social side of Northern Ireland, now that things have come back to normalisation again. People seem to be a lot more forthcoming now, a lot more happier. I think that the future is bright in Northern Ireland. For me, when the rounds start coming down as a photographer, what do I choose? Do I choose a weapon or do I choose a camera? I'm not there to get rounds down in my job. I'm there to capture what the guys are going through. To take a picture and then to see it in publications, that's number one for me. That's what it's all about. And I think it's our duty, for me as a photographer, to record soldiers on the ground. I always reflect on the days that I worked on the newspaper, because I think that's really kept me in good stead, especially in working in the media world within the British Army, because what I feel I can bring into it is that I see what the civilian media want, but I also see what the British Army want too. And I feel with my skills that I can combine both of them and please both sides of the fence, if you can understand what I mean. If someone asks me what I do for a living, I always say I'm an army photographer. I'm proud to be an army photographer in the sense that, it's taken me a long time to get here. Because even from the very beginning, I had this in mind that to have a combination of doing soldiering and photography, I'm now at kind of my pinnacle really, because I've got here.